Welcome back, fellow gaming droogs. Tighten your bowler hat, pour yourself a fresh glass of Malacco, and get sharpened up. There's me, that is Akomi, and my droog, that is Turk182, and we sit in the Korova game bar, getting ready for a bit of the old ultra gaming.
All right, tag me in.
Okay, go for it. Your
Okay.
thoughts.
So, Pixels. When I first saw the first trailer for it, right, I was like, "Oh, hey, that looks cute." Okay. And of course, one of the major selling points for me in Pixels was Peter Dinklage.
Right.
A video game thing was like, well, the video games come to life, right, or whatever it is. I was like, well, does that really do anything for me, right? It's like, oh, they come to life and they do this. I'm like, well, okay, be honest, I've already seen that. It was an episode of Futurama, you know?
Right.
It was the episode where the professor wondered what would happen if he made the thing longer. Which is actually it's the episode with the what if machine, but it actually, when you in the end you find out there was also what if he had created the thing longer or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Nice.
and it was done very well in that. So, so having Peter Dinklage in that, and to me, that lent the movie to a little more credibility because it is Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
Ow. So, but where, and I'm like pausing here because I'm like fighting.
Yeah, it's
It's
hard to multitask.
Where I think that the movie went off the rails is when they decided that they needed Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
And I say that they needed Adam Sandler because with Adam Sandler he brought along his friend Kevin James, right? And that's really what it was. It wasn't like, oh, hey, we're gonna make this movie. We're gonna get Adam Sandler and Kevin James starring. It's like, no, he's gonna bring along his friend Kevin James because that's really kind of what it is at this point.
Yeah.
And or they're like, we need Adam Sandler. He's like, okay, but you got to take Kevin James too. And they're like, sure, we can increase the catering budget. Why not? And that's really when you realize that you need, and Hollywood does this all the time, right? So this isn't anything new. But when you realize that you need someone like, God, I fucking hate Scarecrow with that hook thing. That is just,
he's got some reach.
he's got too much reach, and it's too strong.
Yeah. That's like, you might as well not even be blocking.
So.
Shit.
So you realize then that they're like Hollywood does this all the time where they say, okay, this movie is not any good. We need, or this script is not that great, and we need to bring somebody in who can actually, can bring in the first week box office scores, and that's a problem with Hollywood that I don't think it's ever going to change, where everything depends on the first week.
Yeah.
If the movie doesn't do as well as they think in the first week, then it sucks. No matter what it's going up against.
Right.
It doesn't even matter what's going on in the world. So here I'm going to have a movie that's going to be, I don't know, some great like drama, right?
Right.
Oh, great. Now something going on in the world, right? Which unfortunately is going to kind of sour people or turn them away from that because I've got this going on in real life. I don't want to see this on the screen, right?
Right, yeah.
That's too much for me right now. Even though it may not be a conscious decision that people make. And then they go, oh, well, guess what? Now this movie failed. Well, no, it didn't fail. But just because it didn't do as well you wanted this week doesn't mean it can't do well next week.
Right.
But you have to keep promoting it. You have to keep it out there. You have to keep it alive.
Oh, yeah.
But they don't. a movie doesn't do like, $300 million in the first weekend, it sucked. It's a failure. Next thing you know, it's at your cheap theater. I'm like, come on, and they do the same thing with TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, guess what? This TV series didn't do that great and everything. Like the first 3 episodes, we're going to cancel it now.
Right.
But let's think about some of the TV shows that have been extremely popular, right? So I'm going to go with one of my favorite old TV shows, Night Court. Night Court was a mid-season replacement show. It was one they really would thought of as a throwaway show. Night Court was fantastic. It ran for like 10, 12 seasons, right?
Oh, yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, it's right now. The last couple seasons really kind of fell off, right? But in the beginning, I mean, the very first season is not that great. It's good, but don't forget, after the first season, they replaced like the 2 of the attorneys. They got rid of the first one, the Kelly, the black attorney, right, who was the defense attorney, and then they had the blonde Billy. They got rid of her, and then they brought in the other one. Here I go again, like you're forgetting what I'm talking about. Dude, we have been so this weekend has just been
all over the place.
Yeah, it has. But anyway, and then then of course you lost both bailiffs within like a year of each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which was Selma Diamond, and then the other one. So I mean, it's crazy, right? But they didn't do that well the first season, but they kept it. It did okay. And we're not talking about shows that just plain suck. We're talking about they just didn't do that great.
Yeah.
And then you have shows like Cheers. Cheers was not a great show when it first came out. Friends was not a great show when it first came out. These things took time to build an audience. When it did, their numbers were fantastic. Seinfeld did not do that good when it first came out. But no one wants to build on anything now. Everything has to be instant gratification or it sucks.
Yep.
I'm going to take you to something else. The Clerks animated series. So if you ever heard Kevin Smith talk about the Clerks animated series, right? How he had to deal with ABC or whatever it was, right? And UPN offered him a deal for like 24 episodes or something like that. And he's like, yeah, I'm not going to go with UPN. And it was like, yeah, I'm going to go with ABC, CBS, whatever it was, right?
Right. And
then they hit it big with Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? And so they kept like pushing his show back. And then you got to the point, I'm not sure how many people remember this, but you got to a point where Who Wants to Be a Millionaire was showing every day, right? Kevin Smith started to complain. He became very vocal about it. And he said in something that was like, when they do air it, they'll probably air it out of order and then cancel it. That's exactly what they did. They aired the second episode first, the first episode second, and then canceled it. Right? And so it was just one of those things where it's like they didn't allow that show to, but they were kind of pissed off. The main reason they did that was they were pissed off at Kevin Smith. But what I'm getting at here is that here you had a show that was really good. It was really successful, right? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? It gave them the instant gratification that they wanted. But then what happened to it? After a year, they got rid of it. Because people didn't care about it anymore. It burned itself out. It didn't build up a true audience.
Yeah.
Right? And so because of that, it did burn itself out. People got sick of it, and that was it. Because they wanted that instant gratification. They wanted that instant money, and, and that was really all they cared about.
Yeah.
So they don't let any shows or any movies or anything else really build themselves up or establish an audience. Unless, of course, it's some ultra art house thing that really only cost them like 30 cents to make. Now, I'm being facetious here. But, that's when they sit there and they say, okay, we'll let this thing, kind of take its time to build up. Partly because they're looking at, at the Academy Awards, and they're like, this is the movie that we have is going to be our potential Oscar bait. And because they're like, well, it doesn't really cost us anything to promote this because it's really going to do well on the art, circuit.
Yeah. Ooh, forgot about that move.
Yeah, that is a good move.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna find. I mean, like, honestly, I think that like a director like Stanley Kubrick wouldn't even be able to be successful now.
So,
I mean, if we had somebody with his exact level of talent, just the way Hollywood functions now, it wouldn't be able to happen.
So, getting back to the whole thing with Pixels, right?
Yeah.
You have this thing in Hollywood where they're like, we have to make a bunch of money the first week, or this movie is just completely unsuccessful, right? And what they don't do is ever say, hey, you know what? Maybe this movie, this script or whatever, maybe it just plain sucks. It could be possible.
Yeah.
But they get actors and everything, and they say, like actors, they were like, $20 million guys, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, well, it's like why they call them, or why are they $20 million actors? Well, because the thought is that this person will bring me $20 million and like box office revenue that first week, so
Right.
they're worth it. And that's really what they're looking at, is just that first week revenue. Damn it! Sorry, I'm not trying to spam you. I'm trying to do her walking beam.
Yeah.
But it's a meter burn. And it's kind of hard to do a meter burn on a power move like that, because you have to, So I'm trying to play you and do this at the same time. It's not really working.
It's tough. It's tough.
But
that's why I still feel like my DeviantArt rant didn't go well.
But the thing here is that you get to a point where you say, this script is not strong enough to stand on its own. Maybe we shouldn't make the movie.
Right.
And that's why I say they went and got the Adam Sandler, Kevin James, duo, because they realized that this movie wasn't written for them. It was written, and then they were like, you know what? It's not that strong. We need something to really kind of make it stronger, something that's going to bring in the right audience. It's not a strong movie, right?
Right.
But if we put Adam Sandler in it, right, it doesn't need to be strong, because he's going to bring in that low-brow humor, that lowest common denominator, like humor audience, right?
Oh, yeah.
And we can make this a low-brow stoner comedy. And I don't mean stoner because there's no like drug references in it, but it's the whole like, oh, look, video game things. I don't have to think in this, right? This doesn't require any brain cells at all.
Hey, man, it's Dig Dug.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, I kind of remember that. So, and you don't put someone like Peter Dinklage in a movie like that.
No. It was a huge disservice to him, but I don't know, it's the same kind of thing, and I've said it a lot of times. It's the way Big Bang Theory is. It's like, oh hey, nerds do math, right? Let's make a math joke. We'll make millions. And it's that same kind of thing where it's like we're not gonna. It's just like an outsider's view. Oh, this is what I think nerds are like. This is what I think retro gamers are like.
Right. I don't really understand, and I don't really want to know. I'm just going to assume, because, it's kind of like the high school jock mentality, It's like, this is what you're like, and, that's what I'm going to make a joke about or reference all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm trying to put you down, but really the only thing I'm doing is I'm just saying the same thing over and over again, because that's really all I know, and it's not even a true fact. It's just what I believe I know and what everyone else, thinks that they know as well.
Yeah. Well, like, the creative team who does Big Bang Theory, doing that show would be like me deciding to do a sitcom on Juggalos. It's like, I don't know anything about that culture. I don't understand it. I've never talked to any of the people who are in that culture.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there. Because if you were going to do a TV show about Juggalos, all you have to do is just show archive footage of their concert. That's it. That's it right there. That is... and we just lost like the only 2 Juggalo fans we had. But
well, we're only getting 4 views of video right now anyway, so. Whoa, that's a motorcycle.
Shit, I thought he was gonna just ride off, just keep on going. Damn it! Now I gotta fight Superman with a gun.
Oh shit. Well, it's going pretty well for you.
So I'm just saying, that movie had nothing going for it, and at some point you just have to say, hey, you know what? It's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Now, and this is something I read a long time ago. I don't know how true it is. It was what I read. Bad Boys, though, was originally written, right, for Dana Carvey and John Lovitz. Now, can you imagine Dana Carvey and John Lovitz playing, those roles?
Yeah.
No. But someone, decided, that we're going to redo the script and we're going to make it work for someone else. Because you remember in Bad Boys, you've got Martin Lawrence and you've got Will Smith. One plays the family man, one plays the I don't want to say sexy, but the handsome playboy figure, right?
Right.
Which one of John Lovitz and Dana Carvey is going to play that role?
Right.
It ain't John Lovitz, and to be perfectly honest, it ain't Dana Carvey either.
Oh man. Yes. Oh.
I always want to ride the Batmobile. I mean the Batwing.
Well, this is what would happen if you tried to. It's like, oh god, oh god.
Ow! I just kind of flipped right into that, didn't I? You do have sometimes where they take an idea and they say, this idea is workable, we just need to, do something else with it or find the right actors. But when you say, we're not going to work anything at all, we're just going to find someone to dump in there just to get the box office dollars we want, and then we're going to abandon the project. And they pump so much money into it, it's like, well, wait a minute. Because the whole thing from Kevin James being the president, right? And then Adam Sandler is like, he's the guy that's so smart and everything, but won't actually do anything with it, that he becomes a cable repairman. But he's still really good friends with the president, and they go and hang out.
Right.
Bullshit.
Total
bullshit. Think about any president in history. That had a friend, right? That was just kind of your everyday average guy that's worked a normal 9-to-5 job, and he and the president still hung out.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
their friends are always of a certain stature, even if they weren't of that stature when the person became president. You being friends with the president, being close friends, not like an acquaintance, just like, hey, I kind of, just like people that are like, oh, look at this whole yearbook. Look, it's got Brad Pitt in it. We went to school together. And they think, wow, you friends with Brad Pitt? No. This is a 30-year-old yearbook. One, I doubt he still has a yearbook, and two, I doubt he even knows the hell I am. So no, that's not. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about people that are supposed to be really good friends, right?
Right. Yeah.
And he's still just a regular average. And if some people are like, oh wait, you're friends with the president? Well, bitch, do you watch the news? I mean, have you seen me? And now it's not even that he's friends with the president, but he can just go into the White House whenever he wants. He goes, rings the bell. Oh, hey, Adam Sandler, how you doing? Right?
Right.
And yes, and in my mind, right, that's what it is. He just plays Adam Sandler in every movie. It's
yeah, totally.
His character's name is Adam Sandler. I don't care what your pixel's name is, right? You are Adam Sandler.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, Bill Murray's the same way for me. It's like it's just Bill Murray in a movie. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, you can't even sell the movie off as, oh, it's like wish fulfillment for retro gamers. Because it doesn't even do that. It's like, in order to properly write wish fulfillment, you have to understand that culture. I can write hella good nerd wish fulfillment because I'm a nerd. I'd really be able to swing it. John Hughes did great nerd wish fulfillment humor because he was a nerd.
Really, dude? You gonna fucking spam me?
Totally. But no, I mean, John Hughes was, you could tell from the way he wrote that he was obviously a nerd in high school. And he completely understood those struggles, and the high points and the low points.
I was scratching my head, you were attacking me.
Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't even looking at you.
Right,
I mean, you can't even say, oh, this is nerd wish fulfillment humor. You get to marry the woman of your dreams from, your video games, I mean, for most people it would be like marrying Lara Croft. For me, it'd be like marrying Princess Peach, or whatever. I mean, you can't, I mean, they obviously don't understand it, because it's just like, oh yeah, we'll make Qbert turn into her. Man, I love that move. It's such a cheap-ass move. Oh. Yeah, I think. Oh, I love how they freeze midair. Laws of physics be damned. Yes. Oh yes.
Oh shit.
So good.
So all right,
Because you don't die being in proximity of the sun.
so you got, like I said, you got Adam Sandler there being, hey, I'm the cable repair guy that just still does my regular job and yada yada yada. Okay, but I'm friends with the president.
Right.
Okay, whatever.